Hi team, and welcome back to the final screencast of Chapter 20. In this screencast, we'll cover Section 20-5 that talks about how we can deal with water pollution. In order to reduce ocean water pollution, we'll need to reduce the flow of pollution from land, where most ocean pollution comes from. We'll need to look at the way that we use the land and its impact on the environment. We'll need to reduce air pollution, most of which is generated on land. We'll need to link our efforts to reduce ocean water pollution with energy and climate policy. Overall, we need to reduce our impact on the environment. The infographic on the slide shows 10 ways that we individually can reduce ocean water pollution. This table summarizes how we can prevent and clean up coastal water pollution. Surface water is water found on the Earth's surface, and we can reduce surface water pollution by looking at non-point sources, specifically agriculture. Agriculture should seek to reduce erosion and prevent soil and sediment from making their way into waterways and clogging them up. It should use fertilizers and pesticides carefully, sparingly, and prudently. It should try to use organic farming and eliminate the use of synthetic chemicals. And it should institute tougher pollution regulations for livestock operations such as feedlots. The United States has had some success reducing point source pollution. The 1972 Clean Water Act and 1987 Water Quality Act regulate point source discharge of water pollutants. The Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, is also experimenting with discharge trading. Companies are given a water pollutant discharge allowance. If they don't use their entire allowance, they can sell it to other companies that discharge too much of the water pollutant. Treating sewage properly will also reduce water pollution. In dwellings that are not connected to sewage systems, septic tanks are a good solution. In a septic tank system, solids will settle down to the bottom, forming a sludge, while oil and grease will float to the top, forming a scum. As the components separate, liquid wastewater or effluent can be released into a drain field. The septic tank is then periodically cleaned out. A diagram of a septic tank system is shown here on this slide. More developed regions will have wastewater or sewage treatment plants. These plants will process sewage using 3 different steps. The first step is called primary sewage treatment and involves the physical removal of solids, often using a screen or gravity to allow solids to settle. The second step is called secondary sewage treatment. This involves the biological breakdown and removal of biodegradable pollutants using bacteria. The third step is called tertiary or advanced sewage treatment. This involves special filtering processes and may include bleaching or the addition of chlorine, called chlorination. This diagram shows how a wastewater or sewage treatment plant might structure primary and secondary sewage treatment. Even though there are laws, many cities violate federal standards for sewage treatment plants. Federal law requires both primary and secondary treatment, but if a city can demonstrate that secondary treatment would be excessively expensive, it can be granted an exemption. Also, during large storms, sewage treatment plants can become overwhelmed, releasing some raw sewage. We call this blended sewage waste, and it poses a risk to swimmers. Even with wastewater and sewage treatment plants, we can continue to improve conventional sewage treatment. We can remove toxic waste before they make their way into municipal sewage treatment plants. We can reduce or eliminate use and waste of toxic chemicals in the first place. We can use composting toilet systems like the one shown on this slide. And we can use wetland-based sewage treatment systems that use nature and the environment to treat wastewater. National efforts to clean up water pollution differ from country to country. In developed countries, there has been bottom-up political pressure from the citizenry to pass laws that will maintain water quality. In developing countries, little has been done to reduce water pollution. One exception is China. China has plans to provide all its cities with small sewage treatment plants that can take wastewater, process it, and return it back to the urban water supply. This table summarizes solutions to address water pollution. This table summarizes what we as individuals can do to reduce water pollution.